So my son called me the other week and wanted to get a new blower motor for his electric fireplace. And I said, I really don't think an inductive motor, blower motor, could be the problem. I said, we need to tear it apart and take a look at it. It has a nice flame, the LEDs are working, but there's got to be something deeper. So let's check it out. Okay, this is going to be a mess to work on. It's really tight in there. So, taking a look underneath here, there are 4 sheet metal screws going in through the plate and holding the assembly in. So we'll remove those and let's that way we can get it out where we can work on it. So we have the 4 screws out. Let's take a look at it here. What we have, see if we can make any sense out of it. Ah, now it does. Apparently we have a bimetallic switch, a thermal fuse, an infrared heater, and down in there's a ceramic heater. And those 2 are wired there, and these are wired separately and aligned to the blower motor, and the returns or the neutral all go back through. So if it's not working, it's a good possibility the bimetallic or the thermal fuse is not working. So I have the vintage Simpson meter out here. Let's see what we can find here. Okay, the thermal switch, bimetallic switch, is okay. And let's check the thermal fuse. Aha! I think we've found our problem. Okay. So to prove out our theory and make sure there's nothing on the board, we're going to take a jumper here and put it across the thermal fuse and see what happens here. Okay. We have our LEDs and our little flame flickers. Let's see if we get a blower. Oops, nothing there. Aha! We have a blower. Ooh, and we have warmth. So I believe we've got it. So how are we going to attack this animal to replace that? It is clearly riveted under some posts going through an insulated board. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take some dikes and we're going to cut it real close. Here's one. Of course, the dikes don't work. All right, let me get that out. So I have it cut out there after chewing on it for a minute. And what I've left is two short leads sticking off between the two. And we'll get the new one and probably take a solderless crimp and see if we can crimp the new one in there. So I went on eBay and got 5 of the thermal fuses. They were like $6.35 plus free shipping. And I also got 4 of those double crimps that you can slide 2 wires in, you know, to mount them. And they were like 4 of them for $3 free shipping. They are rated at, the thermal fuses are rated at 15 amps at 125 volt, according to the listing. So I think they'll suffice. So to test this out, I put an amp probe on there with the jumper wire across that. And if I can get that to focus, which I probably can't, we're getting looks like about 10.5 amps, and that's on the high side. So that rating on the thermal fuse should just be fine. Okay, so I took and I bent the leads at angles, and I thought I could sneak it in there. Didn't turn out that way because the thermal fuse was much too long still to fit in between there. So I ended up bending them down and then at a right angle in order to get them into the crimps. I got it crimped and I wasn't real happy with, they were tight, they weren't coming out. But I couldn't. I couldn't get the one crimp tight enough that it didn't seem to want to rock back and forth. So, despite my best thoughts or concerns, I took a vice grips as a heat sink and put it on the longer leads, and then I flowed in some solder onto the crimps, and to my luck, it did not hurt the thermal fuse. So I believe we're good to go. Okay, we're all back together, and as you can see, the infrared is heating, and also the ceramic is heating. It's blowing out really nice hot air. Blower working fine. Flames are still going to town. We were discussing it a little bit, and this was built into an enclosure in the wall. And even though there was proper clearance, we think the inside of the enclosure was so tight that maybe it wasn't getting air inside behind the wall. And yeah, the thermal the bimetallic switch will cut in and out, but I think after many times over a year, finally the thermal fuse said that's enough of this, and that's when it quit. So there you go, all running.